What is up, YouTube? Dottz Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you guys my updated add-on guide for the Elder Scrolls Online Summerset Isles patch. I like to periodically update this guide whenever I make big changes to my add-ons, just so that you guys know what add-ons I'm currently using now versus what I've been using in the past. I get questions about my add-ons all the time, so I always try to keep this guide up to date. Plus, as you all know, every time patches come and go, add-ons break. Some add-ons cause major performance issues, others still work well. So people always like to know what add-ons are still pretty solid, what should I get rid of, and what am I using. So I'm going to cover that today. I'm going to breeze through the add-on list really fast. And then I'm also going to cover what I have. Two different add-on packs, a PvE pack and a PvP pack, because I do use add-on Selector, so I'm able to do different kind of packs of add-ons that I can just enable and disable with the click of a mouse. So I'll go through all of my add-ons first, and then just show you which ones I have enabled in PvP. So we have Action Duration Reminder. Action Duration Reminder basically puts all of these numbers on all of my abilities on the bottom, so I can keep track of my own buffs. We also have Add-on Selector, which is exactly this. It gives the add-on pack so that I can choose which add-ons I want to enable and disable and put them in different packs, and I can just select them. We also have Advanced Member Tooltip, which simply puts information on my guild members, such as how long they've been in the guild, how much money they've deposited and withdrawn, etc. We also have AwesomeGuildStore, which changes the appearance of the Guild Store window to be more robust. Highly recommended. It syncs with Master Merchant very well, so you're able to have a really robust Guild Store with this add-on. It is kind of buggy, sometimes with the searching. Do keep that in mind, but overall, I really do enjoy it. Champion Point Respec allows you to save Champion Point packs, similar to how Dressing Room allows you to save gear and ability packs. Highly recommend this add-on. I literally would not be able to live without this thing anymore. It's so nice, especially if you play multiple builds, PvP or PvE, etc. We have Combat Metrics, which can be displayed at the top left, and it shows your recent DPS parses, how much damage you did, and a bunch of information about it. It's a really awesome add-on. We also have Constellations, which allows you to import parse data from combat metrics and allow you to optimize your CP based on your specific damage. It's a really good add-on, and I definitely recommend it for any serious PvE players. We have DarkUI, which is the add-on that basically kind of gives my UI this night mode. Definitely recommend it. It's such a nice add-on. I don't miss the default appearance of the UI at all. We have Dolgubon's Lazy Writ Creator, which allows you to create writs at the click of a button. I was honestly being very lazy with my writs prior to this, but now that I actually have this add-on, I do them regularly. It just pulls from your craft bag or from your inventory and does the writs with just a click of a mouse. We also have Dressing Room, which allows you to save different kind of gear and ability setups. Definitely recommend this for switching between your different setups very quickly. Really helpful. I like the add-on a lot. We also have Foundry Tactical Combat, which is what I use for my buffs at the bottom right corner, my long buffs as well as my short buffs. I just kind of like to have those so that I can see what's currently active or not active on me and what I need to, if I need to refresh my food, etc. We also have GodSend, which allows me to mass send mail to my guild. It's definitely useful if you're a guild leader or an officer. Lib add-on menu came bundled with one of my other add-ons, so just, you can just leave that. Map pins now replaced Sky Shards, lore books, and destinations by putting different pins on your map. So as you can see, I have a bunch of different things here. Let me just try to scroll. So you can see I have all the lore books that appeared here. And if you want to change those, you can just go to the filters here and choose what you want enabled or disabled. The reason I like this is because this does include the time rifts for the Sigic order. So that's why I definitely recommend map pins nowadays over those other 3 add-ons. Plus, it's all condensed now into one add-on set of 3. Master Merchant tracks information about sales on your guild traders and shows you prices and for what gear is worth based on the information from your guild traders. It does have a lot of space, so do keep that in mind. It is a very memory intensive add-on. We have RaidNotifier, which gives me pop-up information about certain fights while I'm doing trials and if my buff food's running out, etc. Research Assistant shows icons on my gear, whether or not they are researched or not. Gray means Gray means that it's researched already. Red means that I need to research, and yellow means that I need to research it, but I have a item of lesser value that I could use to research instead, which means I can do something with this, whether or not it be sell it, deconstruct it, or etc. We also have Sacnt's Ultimate Organizer, which basically allows you to transmit whether or not your ultimate is ready to members of your party who also use this add-on. It is really, really good for group and organized PvP play. It is the only time I use it, but I do have it installed for that specific reason. We have Votan's Keybinder, which allows your keybinds to be account-wide instead of character-specific. God, I recommend this add-on so much. And then we have Votan's Minimap, which is the minimap that appears on the right side of my screen. Now, when I do PvP, I have all of the, when I do PvP, I turn off every single add-on except Action Duration Reminder, Add-on Selector, Champion Point Respec, DarkUI, Dressing Room, and Foundry Tactical Combat. Those are the only add-ons I leave on when I'm PvPing. I like to try to, let my computer put as much resources towards the game as possible. You guys know how laggy Cyrodiil can get, so I do like to try to turn off as many of my add-ons as possible and only keep on the basic essentials. And when I am doing group PvP, I will also put on Sacnt's Ultimate Organizer if I'm in my organized guild group. Otherwise, it is turned off. And as you can see, I have 3 separate add-on packs saved. One for Cyrodiil, one for that guild PvP, and then one for PvE. So I'll turn the PvE add-on setup back on, and we'll go over the specific settings. Okay, so now we have my PvE add-on pack back up. But before I go over the add-on settings, I'm going to go over some of my key default settings that people do always ask about. I do have nameplates turned on. I do have health bars turned on. I also do have my ability bar, attribute bar on always show. This is under combat. Resource numbers is number and percent. Active combat is automatic. Ultimate number is off. That's handled by Foundry Tactical Combat. I do use the default ESO combat text. I just turn it on, didn't change anything. And then for my target buffs and debuffs, I use the default debuff in-game tracker and use Action Duration Reminder as shown earlier to track my buffs. And I also use Foundry Tactical Combat to track my long and short buffs, and I use, like I said, Action Duration Reminder to track my specific abilities. But I do use the default debuff tracker in-game to track the debuffs on my enemy. So those are kind of some notable default settings. So we have Action Duration Reminder. I have, obviously, account-wide configuration turned on, multiple target tracking turned on. This first setting set to 5, the second one set to 3. The shift bar is enabled. That is turned on. That is the thing that basically when I switch bars, it still shows my volatile armor duration on my back bar. Or if I used coagulating and switched bars, I would still get to see my coagulating blood on that back bar. Now, when you do have it just enabled by default, this bar right here will actually be below your health bar. And whenever you switch bars, it will bump this health bar up and down. And that annoyed the living dickens out of me. So what I did was I moved the shift bar, clicked move shift bar, dragged it above my health bar, and then, hit stop move shift bar, and it locked there. And so it prevents it from bumping my health bar up and down constantly. Otherwise, I don't think I've touched anything else. The next add-on is Add-on Selector. This is right here. All the add-ons for Add-on Selector, I just have allow added the add-ons on and auto reload UI on pack selection, so that when you do select a new add-on pack, it will automatically reload the UI and disable all the add-ons that you are trying to disable. The next one that we have is Advanced Member Tooltip. Didn't really do any configuration for that, I don't think. I don't think there's any add-ons. Nope, there is not. That is just install it and let it go. Champion Point Respec, same thing. Combat Metrics, I did do some configuration for this. Oh, I do have AwesomeGuildStore I didn't go over. So AwesomeGuildStore, I don't really think I did much to AwesomeGuildStore. I'll just tell you everything that I have turned on. Keep purchase items in result list, minimize chat on open, show per unit price and search results, remember sort orders, single click item listing, tooltips and search library, trader tooltips, mail augmentation, purchase notifications, cancel notifications, and skip guild kiosk dialogue. That is all the stuff I have turned on. Everything else is turned off. For combat metrics, I do have account-wide settings turned on. I do only keep 5 fight histories. I don't want to keep a billion different fight histories and begin to bog down my computer with all of the saved memory. I only just save 5, and then I only allow it to use 10 megabits of memory. I have monitor group damage on and enlarge groups on, show stacks of buffs on, turn off and Cyrodiil on, auto select channel on, and then I also have the live report window turned on. That was that thing that was in the top left corner. the compact layout, etc. When you do want combat metrics to turn on, though, you do need to set a keybind for it in the add-on keybind, so do keep that in mind. Let's see what else we have here. Let me go back to my add-ons. Combat metrics. Constellations doesn't really require any setup, so I didn't have any settings for that. DarkUI, I kind of just installed and didn't really change anything. I love the way it looks by default. If you want to mess with this, be my guest, but I did not make any changes to it. Same thing with Dolgubons, did not make any changes to it. With Dressing Room, I did make some changes to it. When you do first install Dressing Room, there's like a billion different options. Like you can have like, I think it's like 8 possible builds. You can even make it more than that. You can make this thing huge. But I just did 2x2, 2 rows, 2 columns. So I'm allowed to save 4 builds. So I don't have like a shit ton of just blank builds sitting here and the screen being huge. I just left it at 4 because I do only use 4 different configurations when I play this guy. 2 different PvP configurations, 1 for group and 1 for solo play, a VMA build, and a PvE build. We also have, after we have Dressing Room, so we do have Foundry Tactical Combat next. Probably did have the majority of my configuration. I turned off everything except for Enable buff tracking and Advanced Hotbar. Those are the only things I have on. Everything else I turned off. The reason I like the Advanced Hotbar is because it does show potion and ultimate information on your action bar, which I really like. And then I use the buff tracking as shown in the bottom right, but I turn everything else off because I don't like it or need it. I have the player buff format is vertical tiles. The debuff format is vertical tiles. The long buff format is vertical tiles. I disabled the buff target buff and debuff. Primary font ESO bold, buff size is 18. And that's it. If you unlock my positions here, you can see where they are. They're in the bottom. Basically, I kind of have everything just stacked in the bottom right. So that is how I do have my FTC configured. Pretty simple and straightforward. I kind of just use it for those few things. GodSend required no configuration. Same thing with lit add-on menu. Map pins. If you want to configure map pins, I'll leave it to you to decide what you want, what you don't want. Simply open your map and go to this filters thing and check what you want to see and uncheck what you don't want to see. Pretty simple. So that's how you configure that. I know a lot of people have been asking me, how do I configure map pins? But that's where you have to go for it. From Master Merchant, the Lazy Writ Crafter apparently does have some settings. All I did was, I think, I turned on show and craft window on Master Writs, grab writ items is on, and that's it. I just left it default otherwise. Lib group socket, I really don't know what this is. I just have that, I guess, on, off, on. I don't really know what that does. But it's this got this stuff on. For Master Merchant, I have show on-screen alerts on, alerts and serial off, chat alerts on, show multiple alerts on, offline sales report on. For calculation and tip options, I have focus 1 days is 10, focus 2 days is 3. Default day range is all, and then I think this is all just default, honestly. I have open it with mail, store, show the full sale price. I have it scan every 120 is what I have as the scan frequency. I have the sales history size is 14, minimum item count is 20, maximum item count is 3,000. Show pricing information is on, show pricing history graph is on, show crafting cost info is on, show stack price calculator is on, ignore outliers is on. The font is that Prose Antique, and then I use account wide settings. That was Master Merchant. For RaidNotifier, I basically just kind of left that default. I do change things depending on the group I'm in and depending on the raid. And normally when you do that, you're going to be turning things on you're going to be turning them on and saying full to make sure that it shows you everything. But your raid leader will generally tell you what you need to turn on and worry about and what you don't need to. Research Assistant, I didn't really make many changes except for... a lot of people might be wondering, Dottz, why would I need Research Assistant? Because this is default in the game now. If you have a crafting specific character like I do, like my Nightblade's my crafter, I don't want to save items for research that my crafter doesn't need. So this allows me to see account wide what stuff I have researched. So I set my weaponsmithing, blacksmithing, leatherworking, clothier, woodworking, and jewelry crafting character all to my Nightblade. So I'm able to see... even on my DK, I'm able to see all of this stuff's gray because even though he could probably research it and my Nightblade has it researched, so I know I don't have to save it. Sacnt's Ultimate Organizer, you're going to need to go over with your specific group leader. I know my my guild leader likes, for the guild I'm in, likes specific settings, so I went over that with him. So you're going to have to kind of use that with your guild leader as he wants it or she wants it. We have Votan's Keybinder. Did not really do anything really for here. I just had as selected all so that all my keybinds would be account wide. And then Votan's Minimap, I get 1,000 questions about it, even though I do go over it in all my videos. I have world map tweaks on, Minimap on, left all this default except for show HUD on while looting, on while mounted, in combat, on siege. World zoom to players is off. Guys, if you want to move it, you have to unlock it, and then you can move it and resize it. So just turn lock and position size off, and you'll be able to move it around, resize it, and do whatever you want. And then when you're done, you can relock it and turn it back on. Border style, I just have as ESO. Title fonts, keyboard bold. Type font size is medium. I left the default color. Pile positions top. Allow floor navigation on. Turned off the clock. And left show freeze warning off. And I'm pretty sure that's it. That covers all my add-ons, guys, when I'm using certain add-ons and when I'm not using certain add-ons. So I hope you all enjoyed it. If you found this add-on guide helpful, and if you were curious about what add-ons I was using and this helped you out, I'd appreciate if you left a like on the video. To see more videos like this, more awesome stream VODs, and just more great ESO related content, I appreciate if you hit that sub button as well as hit the little bell to keep notifications on at all times. Guys, do not forget, I do also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, so go drop a follow over on twitch.tv/DottsGaming so that you know when I always go live. I do post on Twitter, Discord, and my schedule is in all of my stream VODs here on the YouTube channel, so you can always come stop by if you're able to. But I want to thank you guys again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, please leave a comment below. Real quick, I did use minion.gg to install all these add-ons, so you could use the Minion client to install all of these add-ons. That is what I use. Or you could just install them manually if you'd like to, but I use minion.gg to install my add-ons. So just want to kind of throw that in at the end. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'm Dottz Gaming, and I will see you all in the next one.